Welcome back to the Junkyard Audi Restoration Series. Today, I've got a couple friends coming over. Johnny's coming back. We're gonna do some more sanding. He's also bringing a friend to remove the glass. We need to remove these little guys. We gotta remove this big guy. We gotta remove the big front guy because that one's gonna go in the trash. There's a big crack in it, so I need to, oh, that reminds me. I found another guy in New Hampshire with front wheel drive one of these. Body parts are all the same. I gotta email him and see if he's got the windshield. Thanks for reminding me. As far as the body goes, it looks pretty good. There were just some dings and some rust spots and whatnot, but it's gonna look really good when it's done. I was originally gonna replace this deck lid because it's got some rot, but I think I'm just gonna fix it because the parts car in New Hampshire that I'm going to look at, the deck lid's all dented. So I gotta weld these holes up since I'm not running a spoiler with 4 mounts anymore. And I can just drill new holes. I don't have a spoiler yet. I need to find the risers and stuff, but for now, we're just gonna have no spoiler. So I gotta weld these up. Let's do it. So we got a hole here, and we got a hole here, and the other holes are on the outside here. But I need to clean the back side of it because they filled the holes with Bondo, and if I weld, then the Bondo is gonna contaminate it, and then it'll just probably rust again. I need a block of aluminum, and I think I have one somewhere in here. Somewhere. Ooh! Copper will also work. Oh, this is perfect. You can just wedge it in there. See that? Now I can weld. It will not stick to the copper, and it won't fall down in there when I'm welding. Perfect. Should I have covered the glass? Probably. The glass I was just talking about, how hard it was to replace. Yeah, let's get welder slag all over it. Ugh. Almost like I have the things to prevent these problems. That should help. And just like that, there's no longer any holes in the deck lid. Now these little dimples right here, this is what the license plate holder sits in. It's got little nubs, it sits in these dimples and it screws in here and here. You can see somebody just put some self-tappers to hold it on there. I'm gonna have to fill those with weld as well. But I have an idea on how to recreate these. We'll get to that later in the video, but yeah, I got that. Just in time for John the Glassman to show up. He went right to work pulling that rear quarter glass, and while he's doing that, I'm gonna work on disconnecting everything off the rear windshield.
You're gonna introduce another John to the channel?
Yeah, another John. Assuming this has to come off. I don't know how this comes off though. Oops. I don't think anything broke when I did that. This moved. Oh, now it slides forward. Yeah. Wait.
So it's tab.
Yep.
Up or down.
Beautiful. Look at that. Hella.
Very good.
We need to remove these quarter glass windows because there's a channel that runs along the top of the doors and down the top of the window that's riveted to the roof. And in order to get a proper paint job where you're not gonna have the clear coat peeling right at that seal, like if you were to tape it, mask it off right at that seal, then we need to remove the whole channel itself. And that's exactly how scope creep works. You start doing something and you say, well, might as well. You're saving an iconic Audi from the salvage yard? Might as well replace some body panels, make it look nice. You're making it look nice, huh? Might as well pull some dents and give it a paint job. Oh, you're gonna give it a paint job, you might as well pull the windows and all the seals so you can get right in all the nooks and crannies to have a good proper paint job. And that's just how it goes. And you keep going and going and going. While I was rambling on about scope creep, John the Glass Man got this whole quarter window removed. And I left this part in the video just for my own reference. It was a clip holding it in that bottom corner right there. So just so I don't forget when I reinstalled it. Nice. Hell yeah. You remember how many times I put this window in and out? Well, yep, it's coming back out. I'm taking all 4 windows out. They're pretty easy to come out. It's just 4 bolts per window and they just pop out. Figured we might as well just pull them all out so that when we paint, the seals of the window won't be in the way. It'll be easier to mask. We're getting ready to remove the channel up here. John got the quarter window out for us so we can drill these rivets out. I'm working on removing the windows in the door so we can get it all masked up and ready for paint. All right. Ah, easy peasy, dude. And now we can get a nice fresh paint job all the way around. No peeling clear coat. Excellent. I was pretty bummed when I discovered that these quarter windows were glued into the sedan because when I took my coupe apart, they were bolted in, which was super easy. We would have needed a glass man. But while we got John here, we might as well have him remove the windshields as well. So he's got this really cool thing, suction cups to the windshield, and it's got a string, and he just cranks it. He's got the string going all the way around out here, and he's just gonna go, and it's just gonna rip the string right through the glue. Dang!
I wouldn't be surprised if this thing was leaking water.
Yeah?
Yeah, the glue's not touching at all right there.
Oh, nice. It probably was. That's probably where some of the water came from.
I can move it with my pinky, like no problem.
I am for sure, without a doubt, adding one of these to my toolbox. This made taking this rear windshield out like it was nothing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go up Nova.
Precious cargo coming through right on top of the Thunderbird.
Yes, sir.
These are made of unobtainium. However, the same could not be said about the front windshield. This thing fought us the whole way. Plus, it doesn't help that it was damaged to begin with. Damn, that's a strong string. I might have jinxed that because the string broke shortly after recording that. So we had to switch to a different tool. This is like a handle thing with a T-handle that you can pull with. I don't know, it's like a little blade with a 90-degree. It took a whole lot longer, but eventually got it out, and it's going straight in the trash.
Right about there, yeah, keep going.
Yeah! It's out?
It's gotta be.
Alright, let's go.
That's
Woo! Catch, cameraman. Alright, let's throw it in the parking lot. And just like that, John the Glass Man's job was done, and he was going home. He'll be back soon when it's time to put the glass back in. But now that we have all these big open holes, we're gonna go ahead and fill it with some plastic and tape it on there so no dust and stuff gets in while we're sanding. And you can see just how much more of the body is exposed without all the glass in there. P.S. I'm looking for an S2 rear bumper. If anyone's got one, please send me an email. Glass is all out of the car thanks to John the Glass Man, not to be confused with Johnny the paint guy. Johnny's currently working on making it nice and smooth for some pre-paint prep. Now if you guys remember earlier in the video I mentioned these dimples on the tailgate here and how I need to replace them because they're rotten. This one's got a couple holes, this one's got a big hole. This is behind the license plate cover, nobody's ever gonna see it, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I went ahead and I 3D printed this little press tool here. I'm gonna cut a piece of steel, stick it in there, and we're gonna squish it. It's gonna push that dimple into it, and I can trace it out, cut it, and weld it in. It'll be good as new. We're gonna use the old fender for material. Just gonna cut a little square out of it. Well, a little square right there. Let's go over to the press, see if we can make some. I do have a brake with a punch table on it. Unfortunately, it's not wired up yet. Oh, this is going easy. Ready? Yep. Money! Let's go put it up, compare it to the car. Johnny, check this out.
Nice.
It's mint.
That looks OEM.
Look at that. Oh, just like that. Boom. That's so perfect. All right, let's do one more. While I was off pressing some steel, Johnny was over here making sure the deck lid was nice and straight, putting lots of filler on there. He's gonna sand that all off later. But this thing was actually unbelievably wavy.
Oh, what in the hell?
The back wavy too?
Oh, Malanta, what is going on here? Hold on.
I'll tell you what's going on, Johnny. About 30 years of abuse. This car has seen some stuff.
So we used a little bit of self-etch because it's a black car. We need to be able to see the lows. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see a little bit of gray, a little bit of gray. And then down here, you see the same. It's all low spots, another low and a low. So we're gonna have to spread this and this. Just a little bit more mud, but other than that, there's really not a lot of mud on this car so far, so.
Just the trunk lid.
We're doing very good.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, this is
we might even be replacing this in the future.
I would say this is something we can paint again,
yes.
So if we get a clean one, we're good. A little tip, if you're doing body work, you let it set up, but you let it set up so it's still a little tacky. And then you could start sanding it, and it actually will sand a lot easier and a lot faster than when it's fully set up.
Since Johnny's working on the trunk lid, getting that thing nice and flat, I don't want to get in his way, so we're gonna come back tomorrow and get these dimples replaced. This one kind of sucked. I didn't really have the best tools to get up in there, but we made it work. Sheesh. I think that hole's a little bigger than my patch. I'll get the file in there, it'll be mint. There, it's in. It's not the prettiest, but we can fill all that with some welding, clean it up. It'll be better than it was. We really should have just grabbed that deck lid from Pennsylvania. And the door. And the door, yeah. Alright, we got these in. These are not that crucial. All that these are actually just clearance spots for the bolts for the license plate. See those? Oops. Those go right here. So that when you put the bolts in, it doesn't go right into here. It's got a little extra room. Not that important, but I didn't want to have rust holes. These, however, this is pretty important. This is what holds this on. This one is good. This one is not good. So we're gonna get creative and figure out how to cut a square. I mean, I already know what I'm gonna do, so let's go. This is my Arcadroid. Don't mind the appearance. I just moved it here and I haven't fixed it. I need to build some more of these, but it's all right, we can make it work. This has a built-in software so that I can make simple shapes, pretty simple. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a 5.5 millimeter square. The kerf of the plasma cutter will be a little bigger so it should be perfect. At least I can file it to where it needs to be. Yeah, that one was too, I already did this before. This one was too big, that was too big, and this is, I'm gonna be filing it anyways, so. Now let's do a circle. Here we go. One token.
Medallion.
Now this will go right here. Just like that. Easy freaking peasy. It's so thin, it just eats it. Come on. That's good. Look at that. Huh? Generally, you're supposed to leave a little bit of a gap when you're tack welding in panels, just so that there's a little filler material between the two. Otherwise, when you grind the tacks down, you're likely to just open the crack back up. But in this case, it'll be all right. Now, when you're welding things like this, when you're putting in a patch, you gotta weld tacks in like spaced out spaces. If I was to weld a solid bead or a tack really close to each other, it would warp the whole thing. You can see it's already starting to dip a little right here. But like we said earlier, none of this is gonna be seen anyways, so it doesn't really matter, but whatever. I don't know if I explained why we had to put a square hole there. They have these plastic inserts, little squares that clip into those holes, and that's what holds on the license plate holder.
What are you doing?
Opening a can of PR15.
What is that?
It's paint that you put on rust, and it stops it. And you can paint over it. I cleaned the area nice, scuffed up all the paint. I'm gonna paint this whole thing here. Yeah.
You welding anytime soon, or?
Yeah. Look at that. I don't even need no Bondo. Looks factory. Beautiful.
Just paint the whole car with that.
We should, with the brush. The before and after here is pretty satisfying, even though nobody's ever gonna see it besides all of you. I think I did a pretty good job. And we'll get the inside as much as we can as well. Doesn't hurt. And keep any rust from starting in the back. Just a little touch in the cracks. Get that coat under inside there. It was a little crusty starting. No holes, but this will it'll convert the rust or something. I don't know, it does something. And then this can get sanded out and painted over, it'll be fine. This one was pretty bad. I'm just gonna do the hole right here. A little crusty up in there. Well, that will stop that. All right, we got the windshields out of the car. We need a place to store them, and we don't want to keep them on top of the Thunderbird forever because that's just a recipe for disaster. So I need to build a rack for windshields. All right, so I've got some EMT and some old shelf hanging brackets. I'm gonna cut these up, and I think I can make something out of it. I cut the EMT at a 15-degree angle. I think that should be enough of an angle to keep them from sliding off. And I'm gonna cover that EMT with just some plain old plumbing pipe insulation. And just like that, we have 1/2 of a windshield rack. Now I chose this back wall to hang it right above the bathroom door because it just so happens that this is the only wall with wood studs. And it's a pretty good location because there's not much going on over here. Less likely to break something. Yeah. Perfect. Safe and sound. We've got some dents up here on the roof on the pillar here. So just straight lines. So I went and got this dent kit, some hot glue, and we're gonna try and pull some of these out to make Johnny's life a little bit easier. Never done this before, so we'll see how it works. There's a really big one right here. It's like a crease from here to here. Put it right, big blob right in the middle. Just gonna pump it a little bit.
Oh, actually, you could.
Well,
Is that your special sauce?
Yes.
What is that?
release agent. It's just 70% isopropyl alcohol.
Oh,
My first thought was, oh, what if I run out of this stuff? It's just alcohol, so you just refill it. I mean, I feel like it's making it better. You just did that. Oh, it popped off.
you know what you're doing?
No, not at all. I actually might be making it worse.
You ever seen this done before?
Nope, not like that.
Not like that. Just pulled it right off. So the hot glue paintless dent remover did not do what I needed it to do. These dents are still just as prominent as they were. So we have this. This welds studs, and then you use a little hammer to pull them out. And I think this is gonna do the trick. First thing we need to do is grind down the paint down to bare metal because this thing welds studs, so we need clean metal to weld to. Yeah, and now you can really see that dent. Look at that. I've never used one of these before, so maybe we try on something that's not the car so that if it goes wrong, it's no big deal. Let's grab the old hood. That should work. Nice. Oh, dude, that totally worked. It's a little high now, but that's good because I can put it back down. Hold up, wait a minute. Dude, there's just a little low spot just where the thing was, but like that's a little bit of Mondo right there. That's better. That's nice. That came out actually pretty damn good. I could fix this hood and sell it. Right? Oh, it's working. Okay, that's better. Much better. It's better than it was. Doing a little bit of investigative work. I think I know what these dents are from now that we've uncovered a little bit. There's small dents here, but they're both in vertical lines. This was a big one, this is a small one, this is a small one, this is a big one. I think that a ladder fell on this car. Let me know in the comments what you think fell on the car. I'm sticking with ladder. All right, this is the last evidence that this thing was ever in a salvage yard and we're getting rid of it. We're gonna have to take some pictures of this and make a memorial. The next few hours are gonna be spent sanding, sanding and sanding. We gotta get this car ready for a coat of primer. While Johnny spreaded mud over my attempted dent repair, I'm removing all of the glue for the rear windshield. There's a little rust starting, so we want to put some POR 15 on the whole windshield trim, just so we can stop that rust in its tracks. I'm gonna put a little POR 15 around these window spots, just to prevent any rust from happening. Any more rust, because we did have a few spots. We're gonna wrap that right around back to the rear windshield, which actually had a lot of little rust spots. But don't worry, we'll take care of that. Stop it right in its tracks. Looks like Johnny's happy with the bodywork so far, so he's masking off the wheels, the bottoms, the headlights, everything, so that we can spray some primer. What is that?
This is self-etch. You don't have to put a lot down, you just need a slight little coat. Has a chemical in it that eats into the bare metal and like grabs into the bare metal, so now your primer has something to stick to.
Next week, we're gonna try and get this thing painted, so we're gonna have to get inflatable paint booth in here. I think that's the best way to do it. But guess what color we're painting it? I don't think you'll ever guess. We got all the dents worked out. We got primer on there, our first coat of primer. We're gonna have to block that out. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully those guys